So yeah, better late than never. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Potato Jim here. I am one of your little guest coaches for the PPL Season 3 recaps, and I'm joined here with Magnitude.
My name is Hayden Christensen from the Star Wars movies and Jumper, which is pretty good. And that one weird movie he was like a hospital patient. You know what I'm talking about? No? All right.
The only thing I remember of Hayden Christensen's that little monologue he did in episode 2 about not liking sand.
Yeah, rough. The prequels were undone by poor writing. I feel like the directing was fine. The writing was atrocious. Speaking of atrocious, though, let's just get right into the week 1 game. Rhyquinn.
Oh, right. NPR. Yeah, this was, Okay, I'm going to just try and be as nice as I can, because he's Rhyquinn's acting as my assistant coach for the Pokemon Invitational Cup. Hashtag shameless plug. Anyway, yeah, that was a 5-0.5, wasn't it?
That was brutal. The Amityville Hunters and the Nidoqueen's Park Rangers. Rhyquinn, I want you to look at me. Look at your screen, Rhyquinn. Turn away, and then you're watching this, and you're doing something else. I want you to stop doing what you're doing. I want you to look at me. And look at my voice when I'm talking to you. I want you to succeed. But when you switch in your only offensive pressure on like turn 4 and it dies, you're not ever going to win, ever. Like, why? I don't understand. Mega Absol could have done a lot. I mean, okay, it would have been stopped by like Registeel, but it could have, after it became Mega, it actually could have stopped Latias. And then it didn't because you let it die, and you had Fortress, Slowking probably would have been a better option because Slowking, especially defensive, all that jazz, and you brought Pyroar for some odd reason.
I assume it's for the Roserade because the Roserade kind of shits on his draft.
Yeah, I get, but you could have. No, you're switching in. All right, you switch in Pyroar to Roserade. You're gonna take 38% because Pyroar's defenses are awful, and then after rocks damage, then you can switch back and I just don't agree with the Pyroar being there. He was working off last week. It killed some with Iron Tail. Fantastic, great, all that, but I don't understand the Pyroar in the slightest. I just don't. You had other options you could have used. You could have brought Hippowdon. That might have been nice. Hippowdon plus Stoutland would have been, I think, better. You didn't have to bring God, Weezing! What? Jesus! I was so upset. Like, it made me actually upset.
I mean, if you look at the team that he has, a sand-boosted, even, obviously excluding the Registeel, a sand-boosted Stoutland would have done stuff and things to the team that he brought. Roserade wouldn't have had a great time. Torn-T probably might have lived a hit or two. Vape obviously would have been the other person.
You bring this thing in a late game, you just clean up.
Yeah,
but like Pyroar, once you choice Pyroar, it's losing to either Vaporeon or Registeel. Whatever move you pick, and it's not going to do anything to Tornadus because Tornadus is almost always Assault Vest anyway, and it's going to stop Latias. Even if it was a Specs Hyper Voice, like a special defensive Latias, isn't going to take shit from that.
Okay, breathe. We're just going to breathe.
Yeah. Right, because I want you to remember, you put me here, so you're dealing with this.
That is true.
I want you to succeed, man. I love you. You're so entertaining, and just stop. Just stop. Just stop.
I'm gonna be honest. Battling battling moves chosen aside, it just was not a favorable matchup.
No. I'm gonna be serious now. Like he didn't have that great of a matchup.
Juan did prep really well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't want to take anything away from him. I don't sound like I'm doing that. He prepped well. He played well. And I think Rhyquinn thought that he was at too much of a team disadvantage. We had to make a big move. I get that. I just think it was the wrong one. But again, hindsight, 2020.
He brought like 3 berries on his team. Like, for example, the Occa Berry, one the Fortress, which actually that one sort of makes sense if, if you
want to get hazards up, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get your hazards up against the Infernape, which is why also the EQ is there, which I'm a big fan of EQ Fortress. That was kind of cool, but
yeah, that was.
It just seemed, and he knows it as well. That was the absolute most desperate attempt at defending against a team that you're just badly equipped to deal with. Would I have done it better myself? Probably not. I probably would have tried to build something a little bit more offensive based, but
yeah, because the problem was it wasn't just like defensive; it was just like
not enough offense.
Yeah, it's just. When Pyroar is your main special attacker, where was Shaman, man? Where was Shaman? Are you kidding me? Earth Power Seed Flare? Ah.
Okay.
Hidden Power Ice? Just Air Slash? Look at that. You just took care of everything.
Yeah, well, that's a thing that happened, and fair play to Juan. I think this is his first win of the league as well so far. Obviously, apologies for not being able to do weeks 1 and 2. There have been many issues behind the curtains, behind the scenes.
Yeah, we fixed the issues. We got new curtains. We put them up today. So they're very nice curtains, by the way. Very nice.
Yeah.
And now here we are.
Purple suede. Can't go wrong.
Ooh, yeah, that suede is expensive. Who's paying for that? Rhyquinn? Is he paying for that?
I don't know. He spent quite a lot on that draft.
Oh, yeah. All right, Rhyquinn, pick it up next week. You got this.
Yeah.
Come
okay.
on.
So moving on.
But again, Juan played great. He played great. He did what he had to do.
We kind of. I'm not surprised that we didn't talk about him as much because
he just played well.
He just played well. He just did what he needed to do.
He did what he needed to do. He played well. He got a big win, and
he needed it.
Yeah. That's a momentum change right there.
So who is next? Who do we have next?
All right. Well, we have the Tampa Bay Luxrays.
Monotooi and Jordinez of the Southampton Sneasels. This was, to be honest, it was a fairly standard battle right up until the Flareon just did things I've never seen a Flareon do, and that's kill things.
I don't think Flareon's ever seen a Flareon do anything like that before.
I have to. I think this is one of my favorite battles of the week, just because growing up I loved Flareon, just design wise, and even its stats aren't the worst. It gets fuck all moves, but just seeing it take out pretty much half of Jordan's team just made me smile.
Yeah, it took out Flareon, took out OU Scarm, Uber Greninja,
it took out a Greninja.
Yeah, with Specs Whimsicott too was awesome.
Yes,
there's so much Skarmory. I see.
It's stuff like that. It's stuff like that makes me like this league, because people have to really think outside the box, given how limited the drafts are.
Like whenever I see a Whimsicott, I'm thinking utility support all the time, and Monotoi's actually, nah. How about does it have to Skarmory? Are you kidding me? That's awesome. I would think every single time Skarmory is gonna switch in the Whimsicott and just, sure, it might get paralyzed, but I'm a Skarmory. Nope. Monotoi's nah.
No, I'm gonna Moonblast the fuck out of it because I'm gonna fuck.
It was great. He played well too.
The Mega Gardevoir lead was pretty ballsy, even though it pretty much led to easy rock setup from the Ferrothorn. I also appreciated the Papaya Berry on the Nidoqueen. It ended up leading the Nidoqueen to do a shit ton of damage to the Gardevoir, which was pretty huge, given that it was basically the last big problem Mono had to deal with in towards the end of the game.
Yeah. Well, Monotooi also played well. The Sneasels with Garchomp, just missed predictions. That's gonna happen. You make predictions, and sometimes they're right, and sometimes they're wrong. And he just got them both wrong, which it's not a slight against a player. You make a prediction based on, there's a difference, a huge difference in my opinion, between the wrong play and a bad play in Pokemon.
Yeah.
And the Garchomp just made wrong plays. They weren't bad plays. They were just wrong. But that's, they're intelligently wrong, which I guess is the best kind of wrong, I guess.
Risk versus reward was taken into account. There was an obvious certain logic that was used to make the decision. It's not just, I'm gonna just click the first thing I see because I'm choking it. No, he wasn't. There was, it was well thought out. This game is 5-0, but it does not at all reflect on the performance of the Sneasels. You just make wrong plays, and again, they're bad. You learn.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm patronizing them. You'll get better next time, but he just made two missed predictions, and Arcanine was he shouldn't have killed that off too early, or he shouldn't have killed that off.
Given that it was one of his main walls. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a switch in.
You don't let your walls die early game. You just don't do that.
It could have been a great switch in, make a little punny, a great switch into Flareon, great switching into just Ferrothorn.
I can't say I was fully familiar with the set he had. Not at the top of my head, but if I was bringing a
It was defensive.
If it was a defensive Arcanine, you'd think, Maybe I should use a recovery move for this. Maybe I should use a Morning Sun. That's like
he had Morning Sun.
90. Did he?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, Grant. Apologies.
It's alright. It's
I just don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, no, he had Morning Sun. He had Morning Sun on a Switch.
Oh yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So he was a defensive one. He just, should have. I think he should have let Skarmory die instead. Skarmory wasn't really doing. Once it took 50% from a Whimsicott, you're just like, you know what, Skarmory, I'm here to. It's not going to live a Mega Lopunny here anyway, so you might as well keep Arcanine around, and Intimidate's nice, and if you bulk it, that's. But just made some wrong plays and paid for it. But again, they were intelligent. They were thought out. They weren't just.
Yeah. Congrats to Monotui though. That was a.
Yeah, it was great. That was great.
Yeah, he's doing brilliantly this season, especially with such a weird draft.
He's making it work.
Right, so moving on to the next one. Who do we have?
We have the Cleveland Bros, and they played the Osaka Eevees.
Yes, Shadow Gaming Hub and RubyMarrow. This, I don't have a ton to say about this battle. It also seemed just a little bit straightforward. Ruby played very offensively. I remember weirdly at some point, it looked like it looked like Shadow Gaming Hub just sacked off his Rotom Heat against a very super effective Mold Breaker Excadrill.
That's just.
Did you forget? Because people do forget.
Brutal.
I honestly, it's happened, not to me, but it has happened in front of me in leagues. But it's not the thing I would have done personally.
Brutal. The Tentacruel crit didn't help either.
No, it didn't.
Actually, I like the team that the Eevee brought this week.
Yeah, I did.
I thought it matched up really well. It's just I love Chestnut. I love Chestnut against Excadrill and against Landorus, and having both Landorus and Thunderous. That's hard to really plan for. But I thought they prepped well. They had Tentacruel.
It's a solid draft.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you have Chestnut, which is super always max defensive, and Lando. I guess you could run an offensive Lando with. Does that get Aerial Ace? Is that what that gets? The point is, I mean, you could tank a lot of things with Chestnut. You really can. And I think the fact that they had Thunderous probably wasn't going to. If you have Thunderous, you're probably going to bring Hidden Power Flying, and you're not going to worry about that with Lando because why would you shouldn't. No point in that. But I like the crit on Tentacle didn't help at all. But. That
you can't plan for crits.
You can't. But I love the team they brought this week. They brought stuff, Mega Sableye, Rotom Heat, Chestnut, Tentacruel. That could have easily dealt. Big
fan of Nidoking, and it was very good at stopping a lot of his momentum, especially since Scarf Nidoking is the thing to do with Nidoking in a league, especially against obviously a very speedy team of particularly Weavile, and it's very solid team building, very solid team prep. I think RubyMarrow kind of out-prepped him a little bit. Especially with the Flame Charge Emboar. I had a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, I have a soft spot in my heart for Flame Charge or anything. I tried it with Heatran. It was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. It's stuff that I would never actually have the balls to do myself.
I just gotta do it, man. Just one time,
But yeah, just to summarize, to me, it seemed like a relatively straightforward battle.
Yeah.
Side note, Excadrill is a lord. I suppose moving on.
Moving on, we're gonna have all your friggin' European team name puns, man. They're all bugging me out from an American over here.
Well, it's a huge split between let's go with either sports-based team names or.
We got the Cleveland Bros, which I'm a fan of, the Tampa Bay Luxrays. I know those, and everything else. It's yeah.
Alliteration. That's the word. Sorry, it's
alliteration. Boo!
I boo
that.
It's 4 a.m. I'm tired, and yes, unfortunately, my team is an alliteration name. But that's because the teams in Ireland literally don't have proper names.
All right, that's fine. Anyway, we have the Thunderbolton Wanderers, which again, I have no idea what that is as an American. No idea what that is.
Bolton Wanderers.
Again, no idea.
I don't know. I don't know sports personally.
I don't know sports. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is.
And this was against the amazing Chi with the Newcrustle United.
Yes, the
Which must be-
Newcrustle United.
Supposed to be Newcastle United, I believe.
I think actually no, though. My brother's a soccer fan. Yeah, I said soccer on this channel.
Okay.
Deal with it.
That's okay. Literally, like the first thing I can just say about this battle is, holy shit! I've never seen offensive Bronzong. I want more of it.
Yo, I got PPL. Listen to me. How did you let a guy get Mega Pinsir and Manaphy at the same time?
Yeah, that's disgusting.
How do you do that? How do you let? That's just. I mean, and what happened? Manaphy. It's always gonna be one of them that it cleans up. And in this case, it was. It was both.
I love that he I love that he even has a Hydreigon, and he kind of doesn't need it.
I know.
Given that Manaphy and Mega Pinsir do basically all of the offensive work he needs. But no, let's make Bronzong do the most. Okay, I respect that.
Yeah, I mean that's your sixth best offensive Pokemon is doing all the offense for you. Sure. So the Wanderers, I really thought they had complete control of this, and then it was Gardevoir versus Jolteon, and then I really thought they were gonna blow it. It was cool that Gardevoir traced Quick Feet and they got paralyzed and it was still fast with a Quick Feet. That was pretty cool.
That was cool.
But it kept spamming that move, Destiny Bond, and I thought that was gonna undo it all. Luckily, it didn't, because Manaphy and Mega Pinsir, they fix any mistake.
What was I gonna say? I think I remember I was watching the Amazing Cheese side of it, and at the very beginning of the thing, he said, "I forgot to change Clefable to Unaware."
Brutal.
I'm not. No, I'm
against a Swords Ending Mega Pinsir and a Tail Glow Manaphy.
Yeah, that would have probably been a good idea to remember that.
Yeah, you got to be on top of that. But it happens.
That's one of the 90% of the time when you use Clefable, you usually just run Magic Guard so you can set up for days.
Yeah, but
that's
this
the
week.
1 week.
Oh,
the 1 week where you should have gone Unaware. I should have remembered that.
Because the thing is, because Manaphy's only base 100. It's not that great. So you could have run a bold max defense one, and then you would have tanked hits from Manaphy anyway, because again, Manaphy isn't that base 100. That's it.
It's
with
either
Surf.
Manaphy's either going to be fast and hard hitting or tanky. It can't be both.
Exactly. Even when it's hard hitting, again, it's base 100 with Surf.
Yeah.
So it's.
I just
clean up. If anyone was going to beat that core, it was going to be.
It was going to be the Clefable, which is one of my least favorite Pokemon competitively, personally.
Love me some Poppins of Bronzong action. No, I mean the Wanderers played well. Didn't make any big mistakes that cost them. Played well, and
I like the idea of Acrobatic Citrus Berry Sizzle.
Yo, that was dope. That was dope.
A really cool idea. It's just
you're facing Manaphy Mega Pinsir, so
I don't.
I'll
give you some credit, G. I do not blame you for not expecting a HP Ice on a Bronzong.
I see. I that not as a staple, but back 5th gen, Gliscor was such a common thing. You would put HP Ice on something that Gliscor would switch into. HP Ice Terrakion was a thing, and HP Ice Bronzong was a thing, because Gliscor would switch into those things.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought he was gonna have HP Ice and Bronzong for Gliscor, and it was so glorious that he did.
I almost brought a HP Ice Fortress last season in the league. I was in for
Gliscor?
A Lando, actually.
Lando, alright, that's fair. Same thing. It
does about 50%, which is weird.
Yeah, dude, it's
just weird.
Fortress's moveset's weird. It gets Volt Switch. It gets
no, it does. Yeah,
it gets Volt Switch.
It does get Volt Switch.
Volt Switch. It just gets interesting moves for
Don't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if I bring up Fortress every week. I'm a big fan of it.
Steel. Yeah, this is also our first week doing this, so we will get better as time goes on. You guys gotta cut us some slack. If you've already left the video by now, then you don't really care, but you're still watching.
If you're outraged by this, you probably have an amazing
Tweet
life.
at me directly so I can retweet it and make fun of you.
Tell us how amazing your life is, because clearly you've nothing else bad in your life if this is what outrages you.
Yeah. I'm working with Potato Gems. My life's pretty good.
Yeah, hashtag savage. I don't know. Moving on.
I was complimenting you. What do you...
I didn't actually hear you, sorry.
Oh, that's a shame. That was a good one. All right, well, you have to play it back, listen to it. Let's get on to the next one.
All right, who do we have next?
The Melbourne Victory Star, which I love as a team name. I don't even know what the hell. Obviously, it's a pun, but I'm just so glad that it exists. Melbourne Victory Star against the Accrington Stantler. and the Accrington Stantler
Win again.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Like, Ellie's really good, and she has Mew.
Can I just say shout out to Ellie for getting a 5-0 with a Mew? I've never seen that, and it made me happy.
3-0.
Was it 3-0? No, with the week. I know 3-0 this week, but I'm talking.
Oh, okay.
Week 1.
Week. Okay.
I know. I can read.
Well, I don't know how the Europeans do numbers over there. I know the dates are backward, and they use commas and then decimal points or whatever. I don't just metric system.
Yeah.
I don't know what a 3-0 is in metric system.
3. Okay, whatever.
That's a.
Anyway,
okay.
This week. Okay, this battle was actually I probably one of the more enjoyable ones to watch, just because of the weird shenanigans that happened.
I took a lot of pleasure in Ellie having to do it 4 times.
Oh yeah.
Because there's something about having to record a win more than more than twice. Like, you are frustrated at winning, and I think that's just the weirdest emotion ever. Like, damn it, me playing so well for so long.
Oh, I can't feign happiness anymore.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go cry. I'm gonna go cry.
Ellie played fantastically. Had a head smash miss on a Crobat.
I think that, yes. I was gonna say that I think Electric Storm 252, the coach here, really didn't do himself any favors by letting the Togekiss die super early on.
You probably should have let Licky die. That would have been better, because you don't know what. Like, if you're looking at the team, like, Togekiss can still tank, like, switching to Scizor. Obviously not a Bullet Punch, but switching to U-turn. Can switch into probably Kingdra, because Kingdra is not that offensively good. At Togekiss, if it's like a defensive thing.
It did pretty good this week, but...
Well, I'm saying, like, stat-wise, you know what I mean?
Yes,
like, it's not gonna and you are immune to one of it anyway. Then you gotta hit. So you can switch into Crobat every time. You can switch into a U-turn from Scizor if you're really ballsy. You can switch into Gastrodon almost every time. And I guess Mamoswine if it's predicted not, if you know it's Scarf or something. But I just think Licky was not the right thing to sacrifice, not Togekiss.
Yeah, it's what either you or I probably would have done in the battle.
Yeah, because Licky, I mean,
I kind of see where he's coming from, because he didn't know. I don't think he knew. I don't think the full Mew set was revealed.
Well, as Mew, like, you never know.
Maybe, like, I don't know, he was just thinking maybe if I switch out, she's planning for me to switch out, so kill whatever I switch into. But,
yeah,
I guess. I can see that. I can see the anxiety around that, but at the same time, when you compare Togekiss to the rest of the team you brought, Togekiss is very important to keep the Tyrantrum alive. Tyrantrum is very important to make things not alive. So
yeah, it just gives really good protection on Tyrantrum. And
Tyrantrum was used very effectively, though.
Yeah, it missed a head smash. It's a shame. Get that Tyrantrum some glasses.
What was it holding again? It definitely wasn't scarfed.
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
No, don't ask me that question. Don't do that. I've taken notes, but not individual item notes. All right, I don't want to do that.
We're not that good, ladies and gentlemen.
Not yet.
We'll get there.
But yeah, Ellie played well. Ringo Berry Mirror Coat. It's a great thing. I love that.
Loved it. Anything that has Mirror Coat.
I love Trick Scarf Starmie.
Oh, that was great. That completely shut the Mew down.
Yeah. So if you sacked Licky, you could have. But hindsight again. I get openly frustrated about bad plays. Not bad plays, but like plays that cause someone to lose, even though I do the same thing. But now I'm in a position to judge, so now I can. It's great. It feels great. It feels great.
I mean, I haven't been doing great lately, but...
Oh, yeah, I'm terrible, but... I'm terrible, but... Like, my terrible is in the past. So my terrible ended. Now I'm an
I don't know, like, when people say it takes one to know one, I'm going to just say it takes an awful play. It takes an awful player to
know
an
awful
play when I see it.
Exactly. Perfect. That's exactly why I can judge that, because I would do the same thing.
That is literally my best excuse.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sticking to it.
Gotta keep Togekiss alive to take on half the Kingdra set. Keep Togekiss alive to switch into Gastrodon. Keep Togekiss alive to switch into Crobat.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I guess you Tyrantrum switch into Crobat too, but Togekiss is so good. And Licky is so not good.
I mean, I don't even know what the full set was.
It's bad. It gets Wish and Dragon Tail. That's all it should ever have.
Yeah,
anyway.
true.
Anyway.
But anyway, congrats to Ellie. Hopefully,
Yeah, Ellie played well.
played very well. Hopefully, keep playing well. We'll see what the next few weeks will unravel for them. But yeah, so far so good.
Kentucky Weaviles against the Herdier Bremen. So the Bremen got up a nasty plot with Thunderous, and then
Thunderous
went up 6-2.
Just did shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably the easiest battle to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the Bremen went up 6-2 and then didn't lose.
That was more. I'm sorry. Like, we planned saying this before we started recording. Just like, this is literally all we can say about it.
Yeah. You just didn't lose. You went up 6-2 and didn't blow it. That's it.
So
you got up a nasty plot with Thunderous, and you
didn't suck horribly. Well done.
Yeah, that was.
You played the correct buttons for the time being. Well done. Very good. Also, I very much appreciate the Microsoft Sam to record your videos.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I'm not even like kidding. Like that's actually genius.
Yeah. Swords Dance baton passing was cool.
Mm-hmm.
That helps. Hitmontop didn't even see the field, so that's a shame. Hitmontop got some sweet dance moves, dude. Sweet dance.
Hitmontop really does not get the credit it deserves. At least I think it works better in League format than it does in like your standard OU or U laddering, that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's good. You get Intimidate, you get Spin, you get like 9 different priority moves. It's great.
It's
great.
Probably one of the spinners I kind of wish I got.
Because it can also be offensive.
Yep.
Like, as opposed to like Donphan, where like Donphan can't really be offensive because you're just sacrificing so much support that Donphan can do.
And unfortunately, Donphan's typing doesn't really do it much favors defensively. But
right, fighting isn't gonna, weak to what? Flying, psychic, fairy.
Yes, but then you've got ground, which is weak to two very common things. Water, grass, and ice.
Yeah, we're not here to teach you guys the types. You guys know the types. The point is, went up 6-2 Thunderous and didn't lose.
Yep, that's basically it. I don't know what else you want from me.
Yeah, I don't know. Those are the matches, though. This is a very like polarizing week. Like last week was probably worse because there aren't really close games. There was like 5-0, 5-0, 4-0, 4-0, 3-0, 5-0. Like it's really hard for me to be on the side of the guy who lost 5-0, and there were 3 of you. Like, it's hard for me to analyze that other than you just got pooped on.
I think it's either just due to the fact that because this is a salary based drafting sort of league, you're either going to have a pretty solid draft for everything, or you're just not. I think I could probably play into a little factor why these wins are so how do I put it, one-sided. But I haven't seen much in the way, like, I think the closest thing we've had to 1-0, well, we've only had like a couple of 2-0s, no 1-0s yet.
No, we've had 2-0s. That was week 1.
We've had more disconnects this season so far than we've had 1-0s, and for me, I think the 1-0s are usually just more exciting battles to watch. But
always,
obviously, from a viewer's perspective, when you're actually battling, if you're winning, it doesn't matter how well you're winning. Winning's exciting, I know. But
I wouldn't know.
Me either. What was that?
What's the W word?
What is wine? I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. I've never seen that word. But this week, I don't know. I even just like how. No, I'm sorry. I have very little to say about the actual wins. They're just incredibly polarizing.
Listen, I came here to analyze. I didn't come here to give sympathy. All right.
Yeah. Fuck you guys.
All right. Let's settle down. We don't need to play. No, but like seriously, I don't want to come off like I'm actually being super rigid and stuff. It's just kind of a part of the character. But like it's hard. Like it's hard to be on the side of the guy who lost 5-0 because I don't want to be disingenuous to, make up something that's not there to the person who lost. Like a person lost and they lost by a lot. Like they know that it's not. I don't want to remind them that. I don't want to give like pity support. Like, this was a good thing here.
You just gotta go in there and do it.
That's not because you can't baby people. All right, you gotta just pull the band-aid off. You lost. Just move on. You gotta put that in the past.
It's week 3. It's still far too early to actually tell where most people are gonna be going.
Yeah. And again, like this is our first time doing this together, So we'll get more.
We could do really amazing next week.
Yeah. What would you guys give a score for like our rating? Like, if we were to win or lose in the rating game, what would the score be?
Yeah.
Analyze us. Analyze our analysis. Do our job as us. Like, do that. Seriously, do that. Like, please. I want you guys to feel like, you have a say and stuff. It is also hard being the coach that lost 5-0 than hearing about it. So, now it's your turn. Comment on my analysis. Analyze my analysis. It's only fair, right?
You have the option to bring my analysis up as well. I don't care. You can.
Have a little more conviction, damn it, Jim. Come on.
No.
Okay.
I feel very strongly about not having strong feelings about this week.
Alright, I don't want to think about that too hard.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Week 3 recaps. Apologies once again for having them late. We're hopefully getting our shit together. We're obviously going to leave a link to myself, my details, and Magnitude's details in the description below, as always with the descriptions to all of the coaches, etc., etc. Their links will be in the description below, and hopefully we will see you next week for the Week 4 recaps. Any closing thoughts?
Any closing thoughts? Yeah, Transformers 3 was a pretty good movie.
I mean...
Goodbye.
Bye. No, it wasn't!
Stop.
No, it wasn't.
It was. It was entertaining. It was. 2 was terrible. 3 was good.
I think it's like comparing genocides.
Why would you want to... No, it's not.